Well, out here with more space engineers, and today, making a few things. This is actually not what we're going to be building, but I decided to do a little bit of credit trading today. But we are going to be building a ship. At least we're laying down the keel for one. First, we have to get started, so let's go. So, happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a fantastic day and a terrific week, and are still healthy and have been able to avoid going insane during what's pretty much a global lockdown at this point. Oh, all right. So, what we are doing is I'm doing a bit of a money farm. So, because of the fact that we have this a trading base directly above us, the shop up here will actually buy components, and they pay for like the good components, like thruster components, the gravity components, and that kind of stuff, superconductors, and they pay a really good price for it. So what we're doing is we're just selling what they need, just to make a little bit of money. Not that we're really going to need all of it. Oh, I only brought 56. Okay. What else did I bring? Superconductors. Hey, look at that. We're up to 46 million. Not bad for, like 2 minutes worth of crafting and 30 seconds of travel. Oh, what else do you guys need? More thruster components. Not really worth the reactor components. That might actually be worth it, because I think those are fairly cheap. I'll have to go check. Oh, isn't there an ATM here? Where's the ATM? Actually, I can do it in the store. Okay, so we want this to be 3 deposit, just to get that out of my inventory. Hey, nice. Gave us an even multiple of 5. Okay, so what we're going to be working on is, let me out, yes, son of a. Oh, so we're working on this. We're going to build a new vehicle. We've been talking about it for probably about 2 weeks now. And part of the reason with what we were doing with Wednesday, I missed. You didn't get a survival series for Wednesday was because I was basically processing stone. Let me show you just how much material we have now. It's crazy. And this is after I've gone through and welded up like all of the walkways. I still didn't weld up the stuff over here, but let's see here. We'll go this way. Alright, so we're gonna go ingot, because we are producing a bunch of it. And over here we're going to do cargo ingot, just to cut down on the miscellaneous stuff. And as you can see, we've got a ridiculous amount of crap in here. You actually come back over here for now. We're gonna get some of this stuff out of here. You are container ingots. We actually have a container specifically for gravel. We have several containers specifically for gravel, and we'll deal with that stuff shortly. I'm just trying to get, like I said, I'm just basically trying to get as much of this together as we can. But I mean, look at this, almost 4 million iron ingots. Actually, 12 million iron ingots. Yeah, so we've got material, and we've got material for days. So we're gonna go gravel, and we're going to do gravel. Okay. And basically, I'm just trying to get all of this stuff. Gravel 2. Just trying to get it all together. because I don't want it clogging up my systems. Alright. Now it'd be nice if I could process that further, but we'll take what we can get. And so we're waiting for a whole lot of parts to manufacture. I'm building stuff at like thousands at a time at this point. Check our power. We are okay. Everything is charging. That is good. Okay. We did finish our cargo transport. Show you this. The vehicle's still sitting over here. So what we did with this is we've modified it a little bit. Now remember, the idea of this playthrough and this base specifically was that we wanted to be able to get to everything without using hydrogen. So if we actually run ourselves out here, we can actually get up on this beast using the ladder. Hey, military cargo ship. Nice. All right. So you can get up here. On this end, you can get into the cockpit. On this end, you can get into a cockpit. You have to drop down on this side. And then this one actually has the missing rail here, specifically because of the fact that when you get to the other end, I want to be able to get out, jump off this thing, turn on the switch, jump back in here and wait for this to fill up. This is actually reading across our connector, because while we were waiting for the sun to come back up, I was charging the batteries, and we did actually add a couple more batteries just so that we have them. We now have 3 batteries here. And we have the solar panels, which are, obviously charging these batteries. But while I was waiting for everything to come up, I realized, because I started running out of power, and I was like, crap. So I threw some solar panels on it, and, we just kind of turned this thing into an actual working vehicle. Alright, so now let me show you what else we've done. We now have a walkway. We're going to use our jetpack here just because we can. That will take you all the way down, end to end. So in case something breaks, you can come through, do your maintenance, whatever. There's a walkway here, or ladder here. No, sorry, stairs. So when the hauler is down here, this is where the ladder is at. So you can actually get out of the vehicle, climb down everything, come down the stairs, and then you have the stairs here. And somebody asked me about lights, because I've talked about it a couple of times, and there's been comments in the section down below the video about using lights on the walkways and stairs. And that's basically what I did here. After I put everything together, I came back and put lights in. So at night, this whole area is actually lit up well enough that you can see where you're going. And we even put them down here, so as you can see in the shadow here, it stays lit. And then we just close some things off with some walkways and some rails just to clean it all up, and then mirrored it on this side. So it is actually symmetrical on both, I guess technically saying it's symmetrical already tells you that it's the same on both sides, but And then that brings us over here. We haven't changed anything in this space. For those who may have missed it, we did do interior changes a while back, about a week and a half ago. So instead of having a big open space, we now have some walls and some separation in there. If you want to see that, I'll put a link to it down in the description. And if I remember, I'll put it up on the end screen for the video as well. And the only other change we made is we've gone ahead and put walkways in here, so you can actually walk across this thing now. And we changed the blocks that were over here for this little approach area. We went ahead with the 2x1 ramps. We went with the smaller piece. And what that does is it gives us a little bit more clearance. So if that thing comes down and it's a little bit off center, you don't have to worry. As long as you get the collector basically here in this area, it doesn't matter where this thing spits it out, it'll pick it up. And then we've dropped so many blocks through here, or so many boulders in here. I know that this will clear, so I am not worried at all about this. So yeah, that's basically what I've been working on off camera. We do need to wait for a few more parts to get done. Gonna pick up some supplies, and then what we're gonna do is, I think we are going to splice in a conveyor. I may even put I don't really need any more refineries. I mean, we've got a ridiculous number of them. So what I may do is I may splice in some conveyors here, run them out here a little bit, and then we'll put a landing gear down, probably around here-ish, and we'll start building. So let me go ahead and wait for some parts to finish up, and we will be right back. And we're back. Okay, so we are grabbing parts out of here. We've got, I think 16 of these. And we're gonna do, I've already grabbed parts for 8. Alright, and then we're gonna do a connector and a conveyor junction. We're close. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just go ahead and weld all of this stuff up. Actually, just gonna run down the line and fill it all in first.
Energy low.
I know. Okay. And everybody connected on the end here. Now, the reason I'm doing this is so that I can work out here and not have... really? Come here, you. Alright. And not have to worry about going in to deal with a lot of stuff, right? So now we're going to go here. Oh, I need a bunch of plates. Sure, give me that. And then what we are going to do, seat. We're just going to do a passenger seat. There we go. What we're going to do here. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's add some stairs because we can. Why not? Oh. Helps if I have the parts to make them. There you go.
Energy critical.
And we have a place to charge. Okay. All that to build a chair, right? It is the great panda throne. Well, no, if we were going to do a panda throne, I would have put a toilet in. And how much do we have? Okay, we have full hydrogen and oxygen, so we're okay for that part. All right. Okay, so we will need to remove basically most of that. We're going to need a landing gear, which we are going to have gravity outline, which is good. Like I said, we want it about here-ish, I think. Like I said, we want it close enough that it's not going to be a huge issue. That is going to be its own issue for a different reason. Okay. If we do there. Okay. Just making sure it's actually attached to the ground. And I'm probably going to end up putting a bunch of these back anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Alright. So, what we're going to do is we're going to build something that basically replaces everything that we have built so far. Because I want a vehicle that will be able to travel around in and not have to worry too much about supplies. I'm not sure how I want to do this, though. I have some ideas of something that I want to do. And one of those ideas is that I want it to be able to basically take ships that we find and grind them up. Right? Be able to grind them, take the parts from it, and be able to pull those parts in, and then we can use them elsewhere. So there's a couple of ways that we can do this. We can build a grinder array with collectors. We can build, we can add a mod for Bob, everyone refers to as Bob. For those who don't know, it's the nanobot build and repair tool. That has a field, a maximum size, I think, of 150 meters or 250 meters. It's some ridiculous amount of distance. So we could actually build a couple of arrays of those, or an array of those, and set them, to have a very narrow field. So I could have maybe like a hangar area that had, say, like 5 of these things in there, and it would disassemble a ship a little bit faster than 5 players could, if you had the ability to instantly drop all of your materials into the inventory without having to stop what you're doing, find an inventory access point, unload inventory, and come back. So you end up saving a lot of time with it. Effectively, it's a larger reach grinder that you have in vanilla. And you can also use this as welders. So we could actually build a ship with a shipyard inside of it, which I'm tempted to do, honestly, because I don't think I've actually done a mobile production facility like that. We might do that. So what I had originally had thought was that we would have, let's go like this. We'd have a plate. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Yeah, so 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. 3, 4, 5. So we'd have something like this. So it'd be a much larger scale, right? This is just a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. There we go. There we go. Collectors and grinders. So we would have something like this. You see, basically what we would end up with is the ability to grind and collect everything. Because there's going to be times, because grinders will auto-collect, right? In most cases. If you run into a situation where, say, I'm trying to think of, is there a time when grinders won't actually collect? And I can't think of one offhand. I know somebody's going to point out, oh, well, they don't always collect in this particular situation. And yeah, so. Oh, so we do that. So we end up with something like this. I'm just trying to remember, because I know that there have been times when I was using grinders and the grinder didn't collect the parts for some reason. But, is what it is. Okay, so we do that, and we do... So you'd have a panel, something like this. Right? Where it's just a field of grinders and collectors. Yay. And so what I was thinking was we would end up with all of this piped together, obviously. And then on the bottom of it, we would put a gravity generator. So the idea is that, you turn the gravity generator on. If components start flying off for some reason, they'll get caught in the gravity field, pulled down to the collectors. And so as the ship is ground, as whatever the target was is ground down, this thing, would be able to eat it. And I was like, okay, well, that's kind of a cool idea. And then I started thinking about it, saying, well, if I was going to do that, because grinders do tend to collect everything, how about if we did something a little bit different? So instead of having it like this, I was thinking we would end up doing what you can do for welders. You can actually put pistons on them, and we're just going to do this because we can. And in that way, what would happen is you'd have a sensor on it, and obviously this is not the way I would actually build it, but so you would have a sensor on it, and if the sensor was set for a 1 by 1 meter grid, right, in a column, and basically it would say if it doesn't detect anything, it extends. If it does detect, it retracts, right, until it doesn't detect it anymore. And with the grinders on, basically you would get this piston motion while it's grinding things down. So this whole thing would have pistons at different heights while it's grinding the ship down. And I was like, okay, so that I think would work a little bit better. And then you basically mirror this on top with pistons that go even further. And then that way it'll give you say 3 pistons worth, right? So it would have a reach of just over 32 meters, 33 meters, because it's 1 block in front of the grinder. And then this one would only have 1 piston, so that'd be 10, so that would give you a 40 meter clearance. I don't have any ships that are that tall. Seriously. I mean, this thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 meters tall. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 there. 7, 8, 9 meters tall. If we did something where it was able to take a vehicle that's 30 meters tall, I think this thing is almost 30 meters tall, right? What is this? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, this is only 16 meters tall. Oh. Actually, no, these are 2 meters. So this is about 30 meters tall. And so I was thinking about having something that would be that big. And I realized that is actually, because we'd be talking 40 meters, so it'd actually be bigger than this. So we would have something that was big enough to literally eat our base, is what it would come down to. It would take time, but it could do it. That kind of terrifies me. So instead of building something quite that large, what I'm thinking is something that opens up to about half of that. Because we said that's what, 19, so that's because each one of these large grid blocks are 2 meters, I believe. A little over 2 meters. Trying to remember. Yeah, they're about 2 meters. And so what I was thinking is if we do something that's 20-ish meters, able to take something 20-ish meters, shouldn't be too absolutely asinine. And what we would do is the entire floor would actually be mobile.
Energy low.
So instead of having it interlock like this, we would space it out a little bit, and in between we would put builders or welders. And then I started thinking about, well, if we space this out so that you don't have merging problems here where they're trying to mount to each other, connect to each other, it would work. This spacing would work for the welders, but it wouldn't work for the grinders because the grinders are a smaller field, which is unfortunate. All right. See, this is my thought process here. Some of this is stuff I was thinking about, and some of it's stuff I'm thinking about right now. Let's see here. Let's come over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are. Yeah, so 6, 7, 8. So that was probably counting everything. Yeah, that would have been like 8 blocks tall. Okay. Because what I want to do is I want to be able to capture that kind of stuff, close off the ship, and just grind the thing down. Alright. So we know this, as it is, would actually work. So I would have to set it up with the sensor field being the entire pad, and the height of the sensor would be 1 block above the grinders. And then what I would need to do then is we'd have
Energy critical.
something that would drop down like this. And then maybe duplicate what we have on top. What's funny is that this would actually be basically just added on at the end. All right. So if we go this is roughly the height that it would be built into. Alright, so if we did that,
Energy.
crap. Get our power back here. So what I'm trying to do is I'm basically trying to figure out where I need to build everything to have it all work the way I want it to work. Oh man, this seat takes forever. That should be enough for now. Okay. Like I said, we would probably scale this up a little bit. Because that's, what is that, 7? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How wide are you? At the widest, you're going to be here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 18, 19 wide, right? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, okay. So we would want it to be at least 20 wide. So that'll be tall enough. We would be basically doubling this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And we'll do 21 because I don't like working with even numbers in most cases. Actually, do we want to make it even? Yeah, let's make it even. Alright. And because we want this to be square, that's the outer edge, so we're going to go... Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh yeah, so it will go out to 21 here. Because we want it to be an area of 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 is the turn. And you are going to come back from this way. There we go. There we go. And so that grid that we have down there is going to be reproduced in a larger scale. Let's see here. Alright, so let's go like this. And you can all cut free. There. There we go. Okay. All right. And we're going to clean this mess up. Get the rest of this cleaned up. There we go. The rest of this is just cleaning up these guys here. Alright, so this gives us an idea of just how big the ship is going to be. Because like I said, I don't want it to just be this, it's going to be a full-on, like, ship. So the question is do we want it to be, quote-unquote salvage, or do we want it to be a shipyard? Because if we do this as a shipyard, we'd also have to figure out a crafting, like a 3D printer system, which we could do. There we go. Because what we could do is if we make it big enough, on the side panels, we could put welders on the side and have those piston mounted. Oh, I'm kind of liking where this is going. Because you would have, say, 2 pistons on either side. They could meet in the middle. Oh, yeah, I'm liking this idea. I'm liking this idea more and more. Okay, so let's flip you. And the reason I had to do everything that I just did is because I want everything here. I want the upper frame to be the actual ship and the lower frame being an add-on to the ship. I don't want I didn't want the lower portion being the proper ship, if that makes sense. Because basically it would track that lower portion as the primary grid, and then the rest of the ship would have been a secondary grid. It causes problems down the road. Or it can, at least. Okay. And now what we're going to do here is we will do our row, and we will have this. I'll probably do a block here, do a merge block here. Yeah, do that, do a merge block there.
Energy low.
Basically have these guys come across like this. See if we can get it. We want to get it close. And the reason for doing this, right, so setting it up like this. So we go 1 there. And then you come down. Come down. 1 more. There you go. And over. There you go. So the reason you do this is this will allow you to connect the piston head to the same grid as this piston head. And we're going to do this process basically for all 4 piston heads. What this will allow us to do is that once they're merged, we can build on them as a single block, and that'll allow you to have a complete platform that's able to be manipulated by 4 pistons. So all 4 pistons will be used to raise and lower that plate. And then we want that. This is going to be the ship's closed position. So from outside the ship, we're gonna do this just to. So that's what. So when you first roll on this thing, you're not going to see it. This bay will be hidden. and then it'll basically be able to drop down, scoop up whatever it's looking for.
Critical.
Oh no, because if we do that, I guess we'll just... Well, I guess we'll leave it open. How many... Yeah, I guess we can just leave it open. So that's going to be there. I'm not going to be able to do this plate until we get things far enough along to attach this to somewhere else. Actually, I guess we could just go ahead and bring this out on another one, another block. Now, we want to be careful that we're not cutting stuff away that we need. There we go. Get some power in here. All right. So that's going to be the beginning of this build. What I'm going to do is off camera, because I'm going to call this one here. So off camera, what I'll do is I'll get the framework in for the upper and lower grind arrays. And collectors, and then when we come back next time, we'll be probably working on, say, the 3D printer portion of it, because I think what we're going to need to do is get the welding heads. Basically going to need the welding heads to be at this level. So we'll end up with, let's see, you are the non-mobile portion of the piston, so you're okay. And so we'll have basically a welding head here, which means I'm going to end up changing these to blast doors, which is fine. We're not too far. We're not too far into the build to have to worry about it. But yeah, we'll have to do blast doors down here too, probably. But anyway, so yeah, we'll end up with a welding head here. Like we did down here, or like we're going to do down here. So we'll have welder, spacer, welder, spacer, welder, spacer, welder, spacer, etc. all the way down. And then those will be mounted on 2 pistons. So I'll have to figure out what the spacing of that is. And then that will take us 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the first piston will take us there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, no. It'll only be 1 piston on either side. Okay, that makes it much easier to deal with then. Because the piston's 1, 2, and then 3, right? Yeah. So it's just over 2 blocks. So basically we'd go there maybe? Let's get you out of there for the second. So yeah. That's basically what's going to happen. Okay. And that's not going to let me mount it because of that, but I'm just checking it for distance. Yes, that will work nicely. And we'll do that on both sides. Okay. So that gives you a little bit of a preview of what we're probably going to do with it. Like I said, I'm not going to weld all of this up. We're just going to get everything placed What I will do is throw a battery on here somewhere. Probably just throw it like right here, so that we can get the pistons in. Because what we want to do before we do everything else, we want these merge blocks to be done so we can close off this line. Do that on both sides. And then we'll build the back side of the framework. Basically to do it over here. So we get the right and left sides, port and starboard sides done. And then we'll get forward and aft done. Just to tie it all together. Alright, so I am going to cut this one here. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Next week is going to be ridiculously busy with this build, because this is going to be a lot of work. Because you figure this is just the destruction pit. Just imagine what the rest of this thing is going to be. I mean, we could literally build just this as a ship, and this thing is going to be huge. But I want to have refineries and assemblers, and I'm probably going to do 6 refineries on this, and then like 10 assemblers. So we're going to turn this into an actual shipyard. This thing's going to be good. All right. Anyway, as I said, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw those down in the section below. If you're new to the channel, haven't done so already, or just want to do something nice for me and help keep my sanity during this lockdown period, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be kept up to date as new content comes out, or if we're doing anything in like the community tab, live streams, whatever, there's a notification icon, looks like a little bell next to the subscribe button. Be sure you click that and set it to notifications all, because YouTube doesn't always send everything they're supposed to send. It's YouTube, we're used to it, right? Anyway, let me get out of here. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Have a terrific week, or I should say a terrific weekend. And we'll see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Oh, that's going to be a lot of building.